Good morning, guys. Good morning. It's been a while po. Hindi ako nakapagbasa ng aking favorite book. Sorry. Dapat everyday. I think 1 week kahit nighttime hindi ako nakapagbasa. So, may time pa po ngayong umaga. Magbasa ako ng mga ilang pages nitong Mother of Peace. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Ayan. Sabi dito ni Hakjahan Moon, for the first time, I am opening up a window into my life. I do so with the hope that the story of this life, lived in accordance with God's love, will inspire in others the same mission, passion, devotion, and dream. Yan po ang nakalagay sa book cover. I received this book last year. August 17. From a friend. Salamat sa kanya. I actually have to buy it, pero binigyan niya ako. So, talaga. I'm so happy. It's a gift from her. So, I'll be reading with yung subtopic na ako lang creating the road to one world. Bold love breaks an iron curtain. With the coming of the year 1990, people were feeling hopeful that the world might surely change. I would hear one person saying, "The term Cold War will soon no longer be heard," and another responding, "That may be your hope, but the Soviet Union is holding on, and communism is gaining power in many countries. Peace cannot be so easily achieved." They would agree on one point: it won't be easy. Yes, world peace is not really easy. In the late 1980s, with American conservatism on the rise, the Solidarity movement generating success in Poland and Glasnost and Perestroika progressing in Russia. The world was entering an era of reconciliation, at least on a superficial level, but at the same time, Moscow-directed insurgencies were building momentum in Africa, Asia, and Central America. Moscow had succeeded in forcing the United States to pull out Vietnam, allowing communism to run rampant there and the killing fields of Cambodia. Marxists were still bent on their ambition to communize the entire world. At that time, my husband and I sponsored the World Media Association fact-finding tours, taking Western journalists to see firsthand the conditions in the Soviet Union and other communist states. Informing journalists with indisputable facts was an effective step toward ending the Cold War. Besides taking the blinders off these journalists' eyes, the tours generated positive relations with Russian media. In addition, we welcomed the teams from communist countries during the 1988 Seoul Olympics, serving them with Korean food and gifts. On that foundation, my husband and I decided to go to Moscow to meet President Mikhail Gorbachev. 17 years earlier, on July 1, 1973, we had declared that one day we would march to Moscow. As we fought to overthrow communism, we had envisioned holding a rally in the Red Square, and in October that year we announced this to our members. Most were enthusiastic, though the prophecy reminded some of the dreamlike visions of Don Quixote's sunburst. One of our church bands turned our vision into the song Red Square with the immortal refrain, "Must go to Moscow," although the accomplishment of that goal took longer than we wished. My husband and I never forgot our commitment. Hello po. Good morning, Sir Jimboy Matua and Striker Adventure. Hello po, Sir Ronald. Thank you for visiting again. Nawala na ako. Sana ba yung binabasa ko? We believed that winning the Soviet leadership heart in Moscow's Kremlin Palace would tip the scale toward liberating God and all humanity. Our victory over communism work over the years was ultimately not about a political system, nor was it a public relations strategy to gain support from anti-communists. And the answer, Striker. As its root was and is the question of God or no God, the real purpose of our struggle is to liberate the communist world and the West as well from the atheistic materialism. During the Cold War, most people in the free world, including the journalists on our fact-finding tours, had no idea what life was like under communism. Others in a position to know choose to return a blind eye, hesitating to take action out of fear. In the meantime, hundreds of millions in the communist world endured dire circumstances, some not knowing where their next day's food would come from. To save these suffering millions, our Heavenly Parent pushed my husband and me to win over the Soviet Union and opened the path by which we could do so. Engaging the leadership of the Soviet Union was certainly no simple task. President Gorbachev had been implementing gradual reform, but he had to deal with an entrenched bureaucracy programmed to maintain a belligerent postures on the leading nation of the communist world. Hidden behind an iron curtain, the Soviet Union projected the image of a powerful, iron-fisted empire. Okay lang po, sir. Thank you so much, Sir Ronald. Nasa work na po. A few days before we departed for Moscow, my husband and I sat down to discuss our plan with senior members of the Unification Church. Some of them tried to dissuade us, arguing that it was too dangerous for us as notable opponents of communism to walk into the communist stronghold. No one could derail my husband and my determination, however. Nonetheless, my husband, recognizing the seriousness of the matter, was considering the future. As he looked into the face of each and every one there, he said something unexpected. "It's time to decide who will lead the movement when I am not here." All voices were silenced. Again, he looked at the church leaders one by one and then spoke with care and gravity. if I am not here, it is fine as long as mother is present. Wala kang pasok, Sir Ronald. Uy, ay, ano pala? Ay, oo, ay, nakalimutan ko na yung mahal na araw pala sa atin. Walang pasok. Kahit nga si mother, nagpadala ako ng kaunting nila, allowance ba, kahapon. And then, pagising ko ngayong umaga, may na siya, may message siya, messenger, sabi niya, be, hindi naman namin makukuha ang pera kasi 'di ba? Daw sarado yung mga sa atin, mga establishment, yung bangko ganyan kasi dahil sa mahal na araw. Nakalimutan ko 'yon. His statement conferred on me the serious position of a co-founder of the Unification Church. Everyone was surprised at what Father Moon was saying, but I just listened quietly, having accepted the mission of God's only begotten daughter and mother of peace for 30 years. Di maganda yan, Sir Ronald. Kung 2 days ka wala pasok din, makakapag ka na naman po. Makakapag-compose, save ng iyong mga videos, songs. Sana naman ako. I have to turn next page. I have to turn the next page. I had done my utmost to help my husband at the forefront of God's providence to save and guide the world. Now he had made it clear, but heaven's authority is equally with father and mother, husband and wife. It seemed he was making the announcement at the moment in case anything unfortunate happened in Moscow. Later, Father Moon decided to share the same message with thousands of New York area members who had gathered to honor the 1990 Parents' Day with us. In his keynote address, he set into the public record that he had stated to our leadership, "There is the New Yorker hotel be declared, even when I am alone. I represent your parents, and the same goes for mother. When she is alone, she represents the true parents. Now there is nothing to worry about. Fundamentally, I am the first founder of the church and the mother of the second founder. Until today, women have followed men, but from now on, they are on a horizontally even footing." This was not one-time statement from my husband. At a meeting on June 15, 1991, the True Father proclaimed his Gamyang at Clearstone Deer Park Lodge in Canada in the presence of representative Japanese women leaders. The Gamyang is a final decree. A king lives for his subjects before passing away. In this proclamation, my husband declared that after his ascension, I would continue our God-given mission and that the Japanese women leaders should take responsibility to support me. On November 27, 1994, at Bilderberg Training Center in New York, Father Moon again announced my public mission as the movement's second founder. At that time, the educational program of 160,000 Japanese women and significant events in certain nations had concluded, so my role was expanding. On that day, I resolved in front of members, "Let's all pledge to become the family that will unite and establish the tradition of true parents." In April 1990, a few days after the Parents' Day celebration, my husband and I, with our eldest son, Eugene, arrived in Moscow. May upload ka pong bago, Sir Ronald. Thank you. Edit. Mag-i-edit pa. Gawin nyo na, sir, para maidagdag na naman doon sa iyong playlist. Good morning, Ma'am Alice Arroyo. Magbabasa lang po ako nito and then have to go na. The venue was the 11th World Media Conference and the first Summit Council for World Peace, sponsored by the World Media Association and and World Media Association and the Association for the Unity of the Latin America. During the conference, the President Michael Gorbachev invited the participating world leaders to the Kremlin Palace. I was the only woman included in the invitation list and was treated very graciously. My husband and I awarded President Gorbachev and the Grand Cross Medal for Freedom and Unification, which was presented by Ambassador Jose Marie Chavez, chairman of the Aula. We held President Gorbachev's hands and offered a simple benediction. God bless you, Mr. President. Of course, it was absolutely unacceptable under the communist regime to pray for God's blessing in the office of the President of the Soviet Union, the epicenter of the ideology-driven atheist state. Nonetheless, President Gorbachev was warm with us and struck a friendly tone in our chat after the prayer. Mrs. Hak Jahan Moon, he remarked, I do like your traditional Korean dress. It looks beautiful on you. I answered with a smile. The First Lady Raisa always looks beautiful too. Women all over the world respect her. I'm looking forward to the pleasure of meeting Mrs. Gorbachev tomorrow at the Little Angels performance. My husband told me, you are a handsome man, and I can see it's true. Through our conversation, the atmosphere became friendly. President Gorbachev's smile was truly warm and bright. I had the impression that we all were flying on the clouds, I thought. This is the power of prayer and the hand of God. As the meeting went on, my husband did not hesitate to advise President Gorbachev. The success of the Soviet Union depends on whether you put God at the center or not, he said, and he was emphatic. Atheism will lead to nothing but self-destruction and disaster. Father Moon told President Gorbachev that the only way for the Soviet Union to survive was for Russia to continue his economic and political reforms and to allow freedom of religion. President Gorbachev's face showed he was well aware of the enormity of Father Moon's advice, yet he could not help but receive what we said. Never before had anyone said anything like that in the Kremlin. Looking back, I feel confident to say that the words we exchanged at that moment changed the history of the world. I truly felt that heaven and earth were listening to every word with bated breath. Our meeting in the Kremlin and the overall conference created heavenly energy, and our movement's fortune is the Soviet Union began to advance. President Gorbachev's confidence in my husband and me and the Unification Church increased by the day. It is amazing that after that the Soviet government would allow more than 3,000 Russian students and professors to travel to the United States for the Divine Principle education. It was revolutionary. The next year, a coup d'etat took place in Moscow and instability ensued for a short time. President Gorbachev's efforts for political reform and openness had stirred up a reaction among the communist elite. The president was placed under arrest at his residence on the Crimean Peninsula. The insurrection lasted for 3 days and failed. Inspired by the road of democracy that the President Gorbachev had pioneered, the people, especially the young, arose in Moscow in his defense, with Russian President Boris Yeltsin taking the lead in organizing the resistance. Those protesters, surely among whom were many we had educated in America, were the driving force in bringing Gorbachev's and Yeltsin together, dissolving the Soviet Union and ending the Cold War. President Gorbachev's open-hearted reception of the prayer, God bless you, Mr. President, that my husband and I offered in his office surely brought him to a stroke of heavenly fortune. I must add that all this would never have been happened were it not for the work of the butterfly missionaries. If our movement from the Europe called this mission, they had departed from their own countries and entered the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. As underground representatives of the true parents, the fall of the Soviet Union was the climax of God's invisible plan for which these people had set conditions at the rest of their lives through a complex and interweaving of events. Each of them played a role in bringing about the dissolution of the Soviet Union and the shift toward democracy. Even today, they continue to pray and work for religious freedom and social progress in Russia on its path forward. The year after our meeting with President Gorbachev, the Soviet Communist Party was disbanded, and what I thought of a frozen kingdom melted in the mist of history. During the 70 years since the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution, as communist governments took control of a third of the world's population, the blood of hundreds of millions of people had been shed. At long last, the Soviet Union lowered its red flag, its atheistic worldwide discredited. When the Soviet dictatorship declared its own demise, the communist assertion that progress takes place through class conflict, struggle, and hatred was revealed as totally false. History will show that my husband and I were skating on a very thin ice when we entered the Soviet Union to meet President Gorbachev, and that this meeting took place at exactly the right time. In declaring that the world's only hope is God-centered worldview, we played a decisive spiritual role, and the world's political landscape was forever changed. Yes. Oh, thank you. 3 million people around Anne Marie's TV. Thank you, guys. Si Ate Alice, si Sir Ronald, and who's the other one? Si Sir Jimboy or another person, whoever you are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Lady Cimarron, you're here. Lady Cimarron, thank you for dropping by. Jerick Extreme.
Mama.
Oh, baby. Hello. Okay. Just put it there. Okay. Okay, no problem. Oh my God. Dumating ang aking baby. Ang aking big baby na lagi kong napupuyat ako kakaisip sa kanya. Wala na siguro silang class today. Oh my God, first week niyang tumirang mag-isa sa kanyang bahay. Dala-dala niya uli yung carrier. Ang laman daw is mga labahin. Though may washing machine naman doon. Oh my God, ano pa talaga siya? Baby pa. Kahit wala siyang alam. Matalino din. Instead na maglaba siya na mag-isa doon, di niya alam ang gagawin. Nilagay niya sa carrier yung mga labahin. Dala-dala niya dito sa bahay. Oh my God. I'm happy. Dumating ang aking baby damulag. Wala, medyo ma-lessen ang worry. Thank you so much, guys, for staying with me. Anuhin ko lang po until 30 minutes po siguro itong streaming. Yeah, I am really inspired of this book reading. Siguro all of us really wants to attain world peace, though talaga it's too impossible. titingnan natin ang situation nowadays, yung mga nangyayari sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo. But then, why not, diba? If ang bawat isa is nasa heart talaga natin na ma-attain yun, and we will be moving on towards it, to realize it. Siguro kahit papaano, diba? Mararamdaman din ng mundo yung katahimikan. Though, hindi man ngayon, yung mga susunod na generation, really thinking of them, how will they live after us? Yung mga anak natin, diba? Tapos yung mga ipapanganak pa lang, really, thinking of them, yung mga young generations, it really pained my heart to, kung ano ba ang future na maiiwanan natin sa kanila, and yung paligid nila, and anong klaseng mga tao yung mga makakasalamuha nila. Thinking of those things, masakit sa sa damdamin, di ba? Kasi parang unti-unti ng parang hindi na safe yung yung environment na gagalawan ng mga bata. Kaya sana tayo, yung mga adults now, sa kaunting pamamaraan man lang, we can contribute to this. Kahit ngayon man isipin natin is it's so impossible, but then kung mag-go on lang tayo for good, di ba? Walang imposible. Malay natin, di ba? Sir, who's new here? Jeric. Oh yes, Sir Jimboy. Hello. Yeah, you're a friend of Sir Ronald Hilio. Ay, salamat Sir Ronald. Mga solid talaga tayo, Thank you. Lady Cimarron, hello sa inyong lahat dyan. Oh, I really miss the Hinupa Resort. How I wish na makauwi na this year, and we can visit my family too, with my family. Okay, kalke. Sana makauwi na. Ang aming ticket ay naka-standby lang, kailan pa yun? 2020 February. Almost a year na. I-rebook na lang yun. Sana makauwi na. And I really miss my parents. Matatanda na rin sila. Grabe, no? Tapos itong pandemic na ito talaga. Super. Kung pwede lang magsolong umuwi, but then hindi rin ako pinapayagan ng aking pamilya dito. Siyempre, nag-worry din sila, uuwi ako, no problem, but then hindi natin alam kung anong mangyari, baka daw ma-virus ako doon. Hindi na ako makabalik. Nag-worry din sila. Grabe. Oh, it's birthday pala ng aking nakakabatang kapatid. Happy birthday, Nuno. Parang Nuno sa punso, Nuno, yung aming junior. Happy birthday. Mega loud shout out sa mga taga Quezon City, where is my brother is living. Ingat-ingat ka dyan sa iyong work. And everyone, ingat po lahat. Ingat-ingat in everything we are doing. Dapat lagi lang natin kasama si God with us to protect us too, saka yung ating family. Maraming salamat po, and it's magi-Easter sa atin. Magi-Easter po sa atin. Then sana this season ay may di ba may mga wishes tayo. I hope na yung mga wish natin, yung may mga panata for those Catholics, may mga panata is ma-realize po yan sa Easter. Thank you so much, guys. I have to end na. in this part po kasi ang aking big baby ay kararating po. I have to serve food for her. Opo, Sir Ronald. Thank you for standing by. I have to say bye na po. At magbigay ako ng food sa aking baby and then prepare na rin po going to work. Salamat po sa inyo. Good luck to everyone. Have a great day. And be happy guys. Be happy always. Kahit may mga hindi magagandang nangyayari, but then let us train our mind na iset na sana laging happy virus lang tayo. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye for now. Bye, Mamalis.